Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I'm Roger Wakefield. Now, this is something we get to do every day. So if you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you here. We get to do some cool, fun stuff, and we get to do it right here. If you're returning, we have no idea why you keep coming back, but God, we're glad you do.
For sure. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursday is here.
We might be drinking tea.
I'm drinking coffee,
I'm drinking
know.
tea. But I did open a safe earlier. We had visitors in.
There you go. Yeah. I am thirsty for coffee this morning, and like that's just my normal mornings, I guess, here lately. Happy Thursday, everybody. We want to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here and get to talk trades with you each and every day, Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Central Time. Hopefully, we're catching you live during your lunch break. But League Pro does build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And they make a couple different devices. I would definitely suggest looking at the complete kit. It comes with both pieces of equipment, one for your outdoor use and then one whenever you step inside and you're actually listening through slabs and things. If you don't know anything about it, we also offer a training. And I'd say get online, read a little bit about it. Check out leak-pro.com. And if you want to, just give me a call and we can talk about it over the phone at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO also. And we can talk training or equipment.
You know, it's funny. I had guests out here earlier and Lori walked them out on the slab and they're like, wow, you know what? This is pretty cool. It's like, well, we want to be able to teach people. And I didn't just say plumbers because we've had project managers come in. We've had people like, look, I want to get into the leak detection business. Okay. I want to be able to teach people how to find this. So it's great. So let's jump into the national news. So AI-driven construction platforms gain ground with new federal backing. The U.S. Department of Energy, the DOE, has identified 16 federal sites across the country for the development of data centers and AI infrastructure. Now, this initiative aims to strengthen America's energy dominance and leadership in artificial intelligence. I don't know if y'all heard that word a lot here lately, but AI, artificial intelligence, is a big deal. But it's going to help us establish leadership by leveraging federal land and assets. So, Squirt, tell me what all you've kind of come up with here, because there's some big implications.
There are, the major implications on the construction industry. There's going to be increased demand for specialized construction, guys.
Okay.
Because building data centers requires specific expertise in high security facilities, because those are one of the most secure places I've been.
Yep.
Advanced cooling systems, so many cooling towers, and double redundancy chilled water piping typically in all data centers that I've ever installed, and energy efficient designs. That way we're not burning too much energy to keep these things going and running. But it's going to create a lot of jobs, because the development of these centers, it's expected to create numerous construction jobs, particularly in regions hosting the federal sites. And if you're in any of these areas, guys, start looking into it. Try to figure out where these are going to go.
Now, my favorite part, the emphasis on sustainable practices. Y'all know I'm a lead AP, leadership in energy and environmental design. AP's accredited professional, but there's a push for these. There's a push for these facilities to incorporate renewable energy sources and sustainable building materials, aligning with the Department of Energy's energy goals. Look, guys, the opportunities are coming. And if you look at the AI-driven construction platforms, we hear about them every day.
All the time.
Every day. There's new data centers, there's new AI systems, there's new energy programs. Literally, somebody was talking to me a while ago about all the AI coming. They're looking at using hydrogen as energy now.
Oh.
And look, there's a lot going on with hydrogen. We understand that. But to be able to look at this and see it from the beginning. I mean, guys, look, we're still kind of in the beginning of AI. I don't know if y'all know this. It's only been out like 3 or 4 years. Remember when YouTube was out 3 or 4 years? Everybody like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a big deal. Don't you wish you'd have got involved with it back then? So I want to jump in here real quick. Squirt. Man, it's funny you're here and leaving messages.
Oh, man, good morning, Henry. I hope you're doing great.
Good morning, everyone. I hope y'all have a great Thirsty Thursday. And Matt McDonough, my brother, how are you, sir? Says, Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing and Squirt. Tell me about that Leak Pro. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Thursday.
Sir,
And,
good morning, brother.
You know, I get to come hang out west again. I fly to Vegas tomorrow.
Yep. Back at it right after this.
Dinner tomorrow night. Yeah,
Yeah,
right after this
right after
tomorrow.
this.
I'm headed out of here. Head over there, have dinner, maybe a margarita. Es posible.
It's
Es
muy
posible.
posible.
Es muy posible. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. So, why is all this important? Well, the pro tip: construction firms should consider upskilling their workforce in areas related to data center construction and sustainability to capitalize on these upcoming projects. Now, guys, look, like I said, I'm a lead AP. If you want to hire me to consult with you or something, I mean, look, it's not like I don't know anything about AI, data centers, or sustainability.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's-
I'm your jackpot. I'm your ace in the hole. Why are you laughing? I see that. Because let me cover my mouth with my
Because I'm the ace in your hole, so
Oh,
you
wait
know,
a
like
minute. You're an ace hole.
yep,
You're
that's
an ace
it,
hole.
baby.
Man.
Oh, a new name to add to the list. Let me add that to my board.
I told y'all, there's a lot of things we call him around here. There really is. All right, let's roll over into the bottom line. And this is a good one because when to say no to a job.
Yes.
Oh,
Like, I was an estimator, and I used to feel like my bosses were never saying no to any estimates at times.
sometimes they're not.
And guess what? Most of the time they were. Because there were that many people that wanted us to estimate jobs. And they're just like, look, no, here's our sweet spot.
Here's where we make
if
money.
your job's probably going to be here, we would love to estimate those projects. If it's outside of these windows, if we're not too busy with estimates, we'll estimate them, sure.
And I want y'all to think about this as we're going through here talking about saying no to jobs. Sometimes you just need to say no to people.
You do. And we're going to kind of get into that. because
That's part of the whole mental mindset thing, guys.
that's a lot
you
of
know,
it.
I was with Brendan Burchard and Ed Milet last week. And I remember talking to Brendan a few years back. And one of his big things, he says, look, I say no to everything. If anybody asks me to do anything, I say no. He says, it could be going to my niece's wedding. They'll call and say, hey, Uncle Brendan, you coming? He's like, no. It's like, oh, Uncle, okay, bye. Now, if they'll call back and say, look, you're my favorite uncle. You know that. We grew up together. We lived together for 5 years, and you're not coming to my wedding. He's like, oh, okay. But he says, look, I say no to everything.
Yep.
Even family members.
I love that.
Right off the bat, just no.
I'm going to start that today.
Well, then remember when I ask you twice,
No.
no, you don't get to say no twice.
You can.
No,
He does sometimes,
No.
doesn't he?
I didn't confirm or deny that.
No, I know. No. Or I know. Hey,
All right,
I like these.
So red
no's.
flags that cost you profit. Guys, that's the big deal. But
Yes.
taking on every project isn't always beneficial. Recognizing when to decline a job can save resources and protect your bottom line. It can also protect your top line.
Yes.
This
Big
mental
time.
thing right here.
Very important nowadays.
If you're not protecting that, guys, that there's a problem. So, Randy, what are some red flags to watch for?
Honestly, one of the biggest ones, unclear or vague scope. All we would ever release on this is just budgets for people, because if the scope was too vague, like I remember they had me bid one and it was a decent idea. Well, then they kind of gave me a little more info and I actually laid the job out based on what I could. And they were like, your bid is so much higher than everybody else. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm the realistic guy. So I put valves on all these things, all these spots, and da-da-da-da. And they're like, holy crap.
We
Yeah,
didn't
no-
even think about those.
Nobody else probably did that. I said, I guarantee it. Like, here's how many valves I counted. Ask any of your other bidders how many valves they had. And that's going to be a quick, major difference in bid.
And I mean, think about vagueness. Hey, we're building an office tower. We're building offices. Say they didn't use the word tower.
Yeah.
We're building
Yeah.
offices in downtown Delaware.
Bunch of
The
offices.
base footprint is 10,000 square feet. The base footprint.
Yep.
Give us a ballpark. It's pretty vague.
Yeah. How many floors are we talking here?
how many floors
is
are
it-
there?
Is it 60? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, gee, I
only
was going to bid
3.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, vagueness is crazy. But projects without well-defined scopes can lead to scope creep or scope gap,
Yes.
resulting in unpaid extra work. Guys, that'll kill you.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't bid it for valves on all the branch lines.
So,
Well, in the final contract, it was there. You need to go back and read it. Well, I just gave you a budget. No, you gave us a quote. Guess what? Your feet are held to the fire.
yeah.
What are some other ones?
Honestly, unrealistic timelines, guys. If it's something that you realistically cannot make happen, guess what? Do not sign that contract. Oh my gosh.
Is it hot? Did you
I'm
almost knock it over?
moving a little. I almost
know.
knocked it. I
It's
went,
an
whoa,
exciting
wait.
day.
Like, but guys, you know, when you've got a month of work and they want it done in a week and that's the deadline, nah, sorry, you can kiss my butt. I can't do that job. There's no way. You've got to be make it realistic timeline here, because compressed schedules may compromise quality and lead to worker burnout. And just like we were saying, take care of what's up here. It is so important.
And worker burnout, that's real.
That's real. Super real.
Especially when, you know, and you're good. You said, look, Dad, I know how long I can work 12 hours a day.
Yep.
3.5 months. That next week better be like a 2-hour week.
That's right.
Because
Yeah,
I'm going to drive
like-
by, look at the job, say, yeah, see y'all.
Hey guys,
How are y'all doing? See you later. But I mean, really, it's worker burnout is probably one of the worst ways to run a job, because once guys, and I think we figured out over 2.5 weeks at 12 hours a day, they start losing the mental edge. They start slipping a little bit. Your productivity, even though you're paying for that 2 extra hours a day or 4 extra hours a day, say you're working 12s, you're paying for 4 extra hours a day. 50% more work, 50% more hours, and you normally start getting about 90% productivity.
Yeah.
Because their first 8 hours aren't productive. They're already wore out, they're dragging, and things like that. Now, another thing is financial instability of the client. And when it comes to that, if you don't know your client, financial instability can kill you, because clients with poor payment histories or financial instability pose a risk of non-payment. Now, luckily, one of the guys, when my best friend, Grant, y'all have seen him, I've interviewed him on my podcast, had him out on videos. Whenever I first went into business, he says, never take on a job so big that if you lost that money, it would affect your business.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. But I think one of the biggest red flags is here. Excessive negotiation on that price. They keep trying to haggle back and forth over and over and over and over. At some point, guys, you're going to have to walk away and say no, because clients who excessively haggle may not value your work, and they could be challenging throughout the whole project. And these are just telltale signs pretty much that it's coming. So be careful, and you should probably say no.
So to give you an example, a contractor accepted a project with a vague scope and faced continuous change orders without additional compensation, leading to significant losses. Look, always conduct thorough due diligence on potential clients and projects, and trust your instincts. If you're like, you know what, just, man, every time I'm around Squirt, I get a stomach ache. I feel like something's going to go wrong. Trust those instincts. Those little spidey senses, sometimes they work. And if something feels off, it might be best to just say, hey, look, we can't do this.
Yeah. Right now, we got to decline this opportunity.
And you may not even say it that way. You may say, look, man, we just had another big job come in, so we're going to have to pass on this. Love to stay in touch with y'all in the future. And then watch and see who did get that job.
Yep.
And just talk to them. Say, hey, man, I mean, look, we're all plumbers. If a plumber calls me and says, hey, man, look, how was it working with Squirt?
Yep.
You know what, man, Squirt was good. He was very clear about what he wanted. He paid on time. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Now, you may be bidding with them against them on the next job. That's fine.
Yeah.
But be honest about it. We're all in this together. There's enough work in the world for all us plumbers. I want you to know that.
That's it. Construction, we should all be a team. We'll let your electricians stay on that team too. You know, you can be water boys or something. They're part of the team, baby. Okay. Have you not seen the water boy? He made that team go,
He made it
baby. But yeah, that's real big. But let's talk safety here. You know,
One of my favorites.
one of the big ones that I've seen, I've had to do, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but I completely get it. Tool tethering, preventing injuries on elevated job sites.
So tool tethering, is that where, you know, right before lunch, you go put a tether on the tool and the apprentice so that when he goes to lunch, he remembers to put it up or lock it up or carry it with him. That way it doesn't get stolen. Is that what you mean?
Yes, but then he needs to untether it to put it in the box to lock it up during lunch.
Oh, we just put the apprentices in the box too. He's just a tool.
Main thing here, and I worked on some cool buildings where we actually kind of built the roof and everything and then built out the inside. So whenever you do things like that, we didn't have to do it on Great Wolf. But when you're in boom lifts over everybody, you pull out a crescent wrench to use it, you better have it tethered to the lift, to your person, to something so that
It doesn't drop and
if
land on
something
somebody.
happens when you accidentally drop it, it doesn't hurt anybody. It never hits the ground. It stops. You pull it up right there. And guess what? You're not going to lose time having to lower that lift all the way down to the floor to get that tool again either. So tethering is very important. But drop tools are a leading cause of injuries on construction sites. And implementing some tool tethering systems can mitigate that risk. It is so important, guys. And like, I've been in lifts. I've dropped that crescent wrench before when it slipped off of a nut up in the sky because, well, we just know how crescent wrenches are. Sometimes they slip, but
Oh,
you know,
it happens.
it does.
Sometimes it happens just working under a vehicle. But
Yes.
luckily, the ground's right there.
There's times, you know, I've had to wear, they have a tether for your hard hat for like helicopter picks and things like that, or a chin strap. Well, I've had them where I was working on edges of building. I did a lot of shaft work. They wanted us to tether our hard hats because I've had a couple hard hats fall straight down some shafts. And it's like, man, Cub, go down there and get me a hard hat because I can't walk around this job like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in so much trouble.
And another big one, working around helicopters, flying
Yes.
units up onto the roofs.
Yep.
You've got to have it, cinched
Chin
tight
strap.
around your chin to where, and they'll come by and try and lift it. Because if it can lift up, it can fly up in those blades and there can be problems.
That's right. It can cause so many issues. But also, you know, some of the key components of tool tethering systems, there's tethers and lanyards. You want to connect tools to the worker or a fixed point. Like I was saying, you can tie it to that lift or the ladder or something like that. But you want to do this to prevent falls. Also, you don't want to tie it to where it's going to actually pull you off. Attachment points, you really want to secure the points on the tools where tethers can be attached without compromising the tool integrity. There's lots of straps that you can put around the handles and choke down and have a carabiner on there to where you can hook it to whatever.
You know, and think about this, guys. Look, it's been a while since I've been out in the field. Be honest with you, it's been a while since I've been up in a lift working. The last time I used a tether is in a helicopter tour where I wanted to use my video camera. They said, yeah, but we've got to put this tether around your wrist. It's got to be able to secure your camera. And I mean, they've got ways that it's like you couldn't throw it out if you wanted to.
That's it. Yep. You can try.
Yeah.
And it's gonna stay attached to you.
So the anchor points, stable points where tethers are secured, ensuring tools remain within reach. Guys, you don't want to have like a tether that's got an 80-foot rope on it.
No.
Okay, I know that makes it easier because you get to just drag it right back up. But you want a tether where it gives you enough room to move and do the things you need to do. And recent advancements include self-retracting tethers that adjust length based on movement, reducing slack and entanglement risks. If you want to learn more about that, go check out falltech.com. But the best practices, regular inspections, check tethers and attachment points for wear and tear. Just like a lanyard, just like anything else, if it starts getting frays in it, it's trash. Get rid of it. So if you want more training on this, educate workers on the importance of the proper use of tool tethering. And the more you do this, guys, the more it's going to help.
Yeah.
But then avoid modifying the tools.
Yep.
Never drill holes or alter tools to attach tethers, as this can compromise the tool integrity. And then when you look at workplace material handling, understand that you need to be prepared for that on any and every job that you go on. All right, so we are going to scroll down, I think.
Yep. But yeah, like tethering, guys, it really is important. You don't want to drop anything on other people while they're trying to do their jobs, and you don't need them worrying about it. But yeah, let's move on to new construction here. What makes a job site lean?
Man, we talked about this the other day. I'm excited.
That's why I brought this in.
No, I did.
okay?
I love this.
Reducing waste and delays. Okay. Guys, lean construction focuses on maximizing the value by minimizing waste. Okay. And Guys, that's huge. Like being able to send things through, we talk about fab shops a lot, to cut down all the waste on pipe to where it's just down to a couple inches out of this 21-foot length, but we cut 15 pieces we needed. Things like this are getting smarter and better to help with lead construction.
Okay. And you've identified 8 major wastes that lean construction helps avoid, right?
Yes.
You got some good ones here.
Yeah, defects, rework due to errors, overproduction, producing more than needed. You know, like that. I just think sheet metal right there instantly. Just all these random
we built
ducts
all
that
these
are
random
just trimming
long
and cutting and
leaks of
trashing
duct.
everywhere, and roofers and stuff. Waiting, delays between process. Guys, downtime is horrible. You do not want downtime because guess what? That was not in the estimate. Non-utilized talent, underutilizing skills. You know, when you've got top talent and you're making them run around with the broom, that is not very smart. Now,
and besides that,
not that they don't need to grab a broom sometimes to do something. I'm not
unless
saying
they're an
that.
electrician, there's something about a broom that it kills electricians.
They avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too. When you're that top talent and they're like, hey, grab a broom, you're like, dude, I've got a golden arm and you want me to use it on a broom.
Oh, if you got that golden arm, you're going over to the water keg then, right?
No doubt. Get me a cup of water, boy. I like that. Transportation is another one. Unnecessary movement of materials.
Oh, man.
And this is a big one on jobs. Scheduling deliveries for different things like that. I can't tell you how important your deliveries are in getting them when you need them.
Yeah. And, you know, that inventory, having all that excess materials on site. I remember some parking garages that we've done, they just had stuff everywhere in there. And it's like, yeah, but I need to work back there, y'all. I need y'all to move. Like,
Yeah, y'all need to move it.
Y'all didn't plan on this. Like, you know that there's piping that has to go into this place. But also, you know, a lot of motion, just a lot of unnecessary movement of workers.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Why
need
are
to
they
move
going
over
from
here.
up
You
here
need to
to
move
down
down
here?
here.
Yes.
You're bouncing everywhere. Can we make them travel straight up or straight in a row, or just stay on this floor for the day and do as many things as they can? Different things for different, to reduce the movements.
And then you've got extra processing, doing more work than required. And there's some strategies to implement this, but remember what we talked about the other day, me at E Squared, you know, we started running this pipe and we're running right up against a roadblock and look at the electrician's drawing or the duct drawings. It's like, look, guys, we're right where we're supposed to be.
Yep.
And we call our office. They're like, yeah, man, I remember this collusion.
Yeah.
But we didn't have time to fix it. It's like, so I've got 6 guys standing around down here because you, one person, didn't have time to fix it on your computer.
Y'all could have thrown me a clouded bubble real quick and said disaster.
And said, hey, a roadblock, you're going to hit it. But there are some strategies to implement lean principles.
Yeah.
Just-in-time delivery. Schedule material deliveries to coincide with the usage, reducing on-site inventory. Stuff like that is going to make a game-changing strategy for you because you're going to have it there when you need it. Then collaborative planning. Engage all stakeholders in planning to identify potential issues early. And then continuous improvement. Regularly assess your processes and seek feedback for improvements. Guys, we've got to grow. We've got to get better. And the only way we do it is by us saying, okay, I'm going to take control of this. And if you've got jobs where you're trying to run lean, they're trying to run lean, and you're not doing it, you really need to. All right, mindset growth. Discipline versus motivation. I wish I'd have brought my orange book in here. I meant to grab it. Oh, my gosh. There was so much talk about this from Ed Milet and Brendan Burchard last week. It was just like, wow. I want to tell you, and I know this isn't in here, but this is a short one. So one thing that they talked about, they said, so if you're not progressing, but you're going home and watching Netflix every night, you value entertainment over progress.
Ooh.
And as long as you understand that, good.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, look, my business isn't growing. No, you walk out of the office every day at 3:30. You go home, you grab something to eat, you sit down and watch Netflix from 5 to 10 o'clock at night, and then you go to bed. You value entertainment over progress. Wake up Guys, I can get bent out of shape on this because I don't get it.
Because your values are different.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I value entertainment. Don't get me wrong. I've got shows I watch.
Yeah.
I watched The Chosen.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go. Matter of fact, I'm watching it for the second time already. It's good. Season 5's getting ready to come out. It's at the theaters right now.
Did you catch 1923?
No, but I heard Amber cried over it because she found out that was the end of it. Two seasons.
It
done.
is. It
All
is
over.
the end. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
So mindset growth, discipline versus motivation. What really gets work done? Well, motivation can initiate action. Discipline ensures consistency and long-term success. And guys, discipline gets down to what's important to you. And these people that say, look, well, I didn't have time to work out. I couldn't get up and do this. I couldn't do this. No, you didn't see the value in it. Think about that one for a minute. If you don't do something, it's not that you're not motivated. It's not that you're not disciplined. You just don't see the value in it, or it would become important to you. So motivation is an emotional impulse to act. Okay? Motivational.
Yeah.
Emotional. Discipline is a commitment to act regardless of the emotional state.
Yeah.
To build discipline, set clear goals, define what needs to be achieved, and to establish routines, consistent habits reduce reliance on motivation. And then for accountability, share goals with your peers or your mentors to maintain commitment. If you can recognize that motivation fluctuates, discipline bridges the gap during low motivation periods. And if you find value in it, it will get done. So I want to jump into the questions and comments here real quick because I know we've had some coming in. Mr. Zach Martell says, what are some ways to scale up an established residential plumbing company? Man, that's a long list. Number one, social media. If you want to find out more about that, Zach Martell, go to Rogers Marketing Machine. I've teamed up with Go High Level, with High Level Pro Tools, different things to help you do some really good stuff. But me, that's one thing that I would do immediately because it does things that we're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
Brian
Espatia?
Espatia,
Yep.
okay. Says, what's up? I got a question. Do you think I should do HVAC for my career right after I graduate in high school? Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, roofing, maybe electrical. Yeah, don't go to college.
I jumped
get
in
out and
the
get a
trades
job in the
straight
trades.
out.
It's
Yes.
going to blow your mind, and you're going to learn so much. But the good thing is you're going to get paid while you learn.
And it's great to get in young because
It's great.
your body's ready to put in that work at that age.
Then by the
really
time you're
is.
smarter, you're moving up where you're not using your body near as much.
That's right.
And Matt McDonough says, everyone looks at me funny. When I keep extra material aside, they throw it away. I use it for small jobs like, come on, man. Stop wasting materials. Stretch that penny. Squirt, tell me a little bit about Leak Pro, our sponsor.
You know, we'd like to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here, hang out, and talk trades for an hour every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. And, you know, I am the CEO of League Pro. I build all the equipment, guys, and I build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. Build a couple different pieces of equipment. I build a probe, which is our T-handle style with that stainless steel rod, real durable for probing in and out of the ground for that meter to the home service. Also, the Sidekick. Sidekick's my pistol grip style. It's got an aluminum rod on it. You want that when you go inside the home or you're listening through any driveways or sidewalks, because that aluminum rod really eliminates the concrete that you're listening through so that you can actually hear the leaks that you're looking for. I always suggest the complete kit. That comes with a remote controlled outlet and a universal adapter so you can hook your air compressor up to the system. That turns you into a one-man operation, one-person operation to go in and find leaks on your own without having somebody control the air, the water, all the things that you're trying to feed in the system to be able to hear the leaks. But if you don't know anything about it, I do a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I teach you how to locate lines. I've got a big slab out here with 11 leaks under it. We go through, we locate the lines. You learn to pinpoint locate all those leaks. And I've got some really tricky ones. I love it. I got one outside of the slab itself so that you know what an underground leak sounds like too. But guys, also I've got a couple sewer systems set up. I've got a cast iron and a PVC system where I teach you to go to a double clean out outside of a home and isolate the branch lines so you can determine exactly where a sewer line's leaking under a home. And if you want to know more about this, visit www.leak-pro.com or give me a call and we can talk about it at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO.
I'm just saying, jump on into it. All right, we're going to go into all trades. Now, this is one we've been talking about for a while, and you got really, really excited about it. But laser layout systems, are they really worth the investment for all trades?
I'm not going to say for all trades, no. Okay, but for a lot of trades that actually do layout, definitely so. You think about it on commercial jobs when the ceiling grid guy comes in and they got that laser that shoots across the whole ceiling, and you actually have to run pipe while that's there, and you're just like, oh, I just measure from this laser. I know my stuff is perfectly level. It is so great. You just fly through the job. So it can really benefit you a lot, saving you in labor. And, you've got to put that into place. But laser layout systems aren't just for commercial jobs, guys. They're changing how trades from plumbing to framing to tile work get it done faster and cleaner. I use one here hanging shelves and things like that. Like
all the time.
I'm about to have to hang multiple across this big room. I'm busting out my laser, guys, because it's just going to make my job go a whole lot quicker, and everything's going to be perfect around the whole room.
And it's easy to do. It really is. But the benefits across the board are framers and carpenters. Well, this is perfect for wall alignment, stud spacing, and your window door layouts. And this can save you hours on your setup. Plumbers and electricians, we really don't count them, but we'll go ahead and throw them in for this. Laser lines help rough ends for supply, drain, and your vent, so you'll know right where everything goes, and conduit runs. It's especially useful for staying level over long distances. And trust me, I've ran hundreds of feet of pipe down floors before, and stuff like that would be great to have it, something like that. For your tile and your finishing trades, keep the tile pattern straight and consistent. Now, this is great for large format tile or when working with uneven substrates. And the ROI, well, a general contractor on a mid-sized remodel started using a 360-degree laser level like Randy was talking about. After 2 projects, it had paid for itself by eliminating the layout errors and speeding up the rough end work across all the subs. Like Randy said, when that laser's running, everybody pulls measurements off of it.
That's it.
And we really do.
Yeah. You just check with whoever set up the laser. Hey, what elevation is that for us? Is it an inch below, an inch above? Is it right on where the ceiling height is? What is it? Because most of the time they set it a little below, and be aware of this. If they're doing ceiling grid, they'll set it a little below so that they can measure up to their actual grid. So you want to check with whoever set up the laser in your area before you just start measuring from it.
And then establish your BOP off of that, your bottom of pipe.
That's it.
Because if you'll do that, then it's like, hey, if you're running a water line, guys, it's 6 inches up from the laser BOP. Now you know right where to set your hanger because your pipe sits right on it. Unless it's insulated. So make sure you figure for your insulation in your saddles. That way you're not another 3/4 inch too high or too low or something like that. Yeah. But the starter tip, don't overspend up front. For most trades, $250 to about $400, you can get systems Bosch, DeWalt, Milwaukee.
All sorts of them.
They'll get you started before moving into your $1,000 professional setup. Yep. So guys, the opportunities are there. It's just like anything else. There's new tools, materials, techniques, and equipment every single day. And if you're not using it, you're going to have problems.
That's it.
All right. Now, Carlos put a question in here, and I want to ask this real quick. It says, what's up? What's your take on side jobs? It depends on where you're at. In Texas, you've got to have a license, a master license, a permit, and insurance to do side jobs. If you've got all that, good.
Depends on your trade also.
Your state,
because
your
it
trade.
may not be a skilled trade. I'm not sure.
If
I don't know what
you're
trade
a carpenter, go for it.
That's it. Like, side jobs aren't a bad thing, guys. As long as, like, here's my major thing. As long as you're not taking business from the company of your normal day job.
You bet.
That's the key there. So you don't want to get any customers from your day job.
If you went out to do
I'll
a
just
water
do
heater
this
at your day
weekend.
job and they're like, hey, will you come this weekend and change out all our toilets? Yeah, I'll do that. You're stealing money from your company.
That's it. And we don't want to be those people. So,
Absolutely.
side jobs can be a great thing. I was a young apprentice and I'd pick up any side job I possibly could because guess what? I had to put food on the table. So, but you got to know the limits and the regulations for it.
And then Brian Petit says, do you think I should do a pre-apprenticeship or just go straight into the union? You know, that's up to you. The union is there to train you. If you come in as an apprentice and you tell them, look, I'm green, but I want to learn, you're great. If you watch every video I've got where I talk about getting into the trades or becoming a great journeyman or anything like that, or even the ones for homeowners, how to change a garbage disposal, how to do this,
How to be a great apprentice.
you're going to know a lot of things that a lot of other people don't know. Get online and search 10 skills that require, or 10 habits that require no skill. And look at those and print it out and put it on your door and say, hey, every day at work, I'm going to do this. You're going to show up on time. You're going to come prepared. You're going to be coachable. Man, just there's a million different things. All right.
One more just popped in.
Matt McDonough says, that's why I do side jobs for fixed income or veterans. There you go.
I like that.
So you can be very picky about who you do that for. Good stuff, Matt. All right. We're going to roll into laws and licenses. Go ahead.
Hey, OSHA record keeping rule updates for 2025, guys. What has actually changed here? Digital. I mean, come on, guys. You know, OSHA's revised record keeping rule effective this year increases transparency and data reporting for contractors. Okay. The key update here, like I was saying, digital submission requirement. Okay. Construction firms with 100+ employees must now electronically submit Form 300, which is the log of work-related injuries and illnesses, and Form 301, which is the incident report, annually, not just the 300-day summary anymore. So that's a big deal. Like, you've got to be ahead of this and be ready because you are going to have to stay on top of this to avoid fines and fees for you doing your job. Also, some NAICS code focus. High hazard industries, including construction, are targeted for this expanded reporting. Data use, OSHA plans to make some of this data public, aiming to increase accountability and help firms benchmark safety. And guys, this is one of the things that I like the most. They're going to put it out there for more people to learn from.
I love that.
And we can all learn from each other because we don't all need to go out there and make the same mistakes in the field.
We do.
And we do. Like, guess what? You think you're the first one to break a piece of pipe off? No, you're not. Like, it's been done too many times, I guarantee it. So you're not the first. Put the information out there so that others can try to learn from you and feed it into OSHA for others, especially all the injuries and stuff like that. If we can cut down accidents, that's what we're doing. We're trying to get to 0 incidents and accidents on construction sites. It is possible, guys. I know it sounds completely impossible, but it actually is a possibility. Because I've kind of seen that at a company where it used to always be an accident every month. And we hit a lot of months in a row with 0 at all whatsoever. And we had so many man hours that we were burning in a month. And it's like, dude, it actually is possible. So don't doubt it.
So things that you can do right now, ensure your record keeping is accurate and up to date throughout the year. And then use software. There's some like Safety Culture, iAuditor, things like that to digitize your incident reports. And then train your foreman and supervision on how to report injuries correctly and promptly. And even if you're under 100 employees, expect more targeted inspections based on trends from submitted data. This makes having strong internal safety logs even more critical. Guys, safety is one of the biggest things on earth. And, you know, like I said, look, I remember starting out before OSHA was anything really. And we didn't worry about it. They'd come up and give you a safety vest, glasses, and gloves, and you threw them in your toolbox. So it's getting time to get serious about it, y'all. They're getting more serious each and every year, but really they're making it easier on us.
Yeah.
So learn to use the tools that are there. Now we're going to go into business training. And I talk about this a lot. I say anytime you do something more than once, create a process for it. But in your business training, I want you to create repeatable sales processes for your estimators. Now, I say estimators, but I also mean your sales tech, when he walks in a job, if he'll park in the right spot, if he'll knock on the door the right way, if he'll greet the people the right way, if he will enter the house with a credibility statement. Guys, systems and processes work. when you get something down that works, it's like, man, if I can just wash, rinse, and repeat this every time I do this, it makes it so much easier. But Randy, you've been an estimator.
Yes. So many contractors rely on 1-star estimator. Okay. But guess what? If that person leaves, the system breaks. You don't want that to happen. So creating a repeatable sales process ensures consistency, scalability, and higher close rates. And, you know, guys, this is super important. Some of the core elements of a repeatable estimating process. You want standard intake forms for all the jobs coming in. Here's what it goes through. I worked at a large place. We had a checklist that things had to meet the requirements for it to be able to even get handed to an estimator. You want to gather consistent data every time. Square footage, scope materials, timeline, client expectations. That way you can end up generating a template for bids. Because then if you've got a template, it's branded, it's clean, it's professional. All your team gets used to seeing that over and over, and it's going to save time and improve that client trust too. Because whenever you sit down to go through a bid and you open that up, they're like, oh my gosh, this person's got their shit together. Look at them. Like this is all beautiful. It's clear. It tells me exactly all the information that I need.
And client trust is something you need with every client you have.
So big. Client, that is your customer, guys. That's who's keeping your lights on in the big grand scheme of things. Yeah,
Every day.
we put in that work, we do the business, but guess what? It's our customers that keep us being able to do what we do. But you also want to do some built-in follow-up triggers, okay? Use CRM tools. There's tons out there, guys.
We love Go High Level.
We like
just
Go
saying.
High Level. But you want to use some of these CRMs to send reminders and automate client check-ins. You don't need to waste a lot of extra time and energy nowadays. There's softwares out that'll handle a lot of this stuff. Also, you want to track your close rate. Super important. Which jobs are actually getting won or lost? Why did they get won or lost? Start reviewing this monthly to improve future bids. Because then if you get anything that comes in that's similar, you kind of know, is it worth bidding or not? Or what are some things that we need to look at and dig further into? A good example here is a residential GC implemented a templated estimating checklist. Their average time to produce bids dropped by 40%.
Wow.
Their close rate improved by 18% after automating follow-ups. CRMs can really make you money, guys. So find a good software if you want.
Go check out Rogers Marketing Machine.
Yep.
I've got not just a good CRM, but a company that'll set it up for you.
That'll help you set up
Oh
your
my
automations,
gosh.
guys.
Yeah.
So definitely look into it, check it out, because if you don't have anything right now,
You need something.
it's going to help.
Yep.
You're
My
gonna
favorite,
love it.
my favorite thing about what we've got set up is the automatic text back. A lot of times, a lot of single people here chucking a truck out doing the job, trying to be the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. And when that phone rings, it's like, I can't answer this right now.
Yep.
Well, the cool thing is, if you don't answer it, that person that called you automatically gets a text back, says, hey, look, this is Roger. I'm in a meeting right now, or I'm under a house right now, or something like that. I can't talk, but if you'll text me and tell me what's wrong, I'll see what I can do. Well, now you're establishing a relationship, so they're not calling somebody else. That, to me, that's worth the whole $97 a month right there, because that's
Yeah.
all it is, $97 a month.
That's it. That's it. After that initial setup.
After that
fee,
initial
like, no
setup,
big
which
deal.
is $497.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's
guys,
less than
we set it up
$500,
cheap.
like-
We did, man. We argued it like, guys, I need this. We're plumbing. A single plumbing company can afford
Yeah.
this each and every day.
That's it.
All right, so now we're going to roll into vehicles.
Hey,
What to include in every work vehicle for emergency repairs? Breakdowns are costly. Guys, I cannot tell you how much money we lost because a van was out that day.
Yep.
The van broke down. Well, by the time you get the plumber to move everything over into another van, it's like, you know what? Your day's gone. But keeping your truck stocked with key repair and safety items keeps your crew moving, and it avoids missed jobs. So some of the top items that you want to include, and guys, this is whether you buy your vehicle, lease your vehicle, new vehicle, old vehicle, I don't care.
it doesn't matter.
But jumper cables or portable battery packs.
Your favorite.
And we need to put a link to our battery pack, because I've got a battery pack that, guys, literally Y'all seen my big truck, my big old black jacked up diesel truck. And when my battery started going down and Squirt wouldn't change it because he was too busy packing up Leak Pros all day, every day, I got lucky because I've got a battery pack, and anybody wants to know about it, just leave me a message in here and I'll make sure I reach back out to them. Or connect with me on LinkedIn is even better. Yeah. Connect with me on LinkedIn and say, dude, I need to know your battery pack. Because this battery literally jumped my big truck multiple times.
Double batteried big truck.
I had to, my truck has 2 batteries. And it was enough to jump it and make it start. Mm-hmm. You need a tire repair kit. Maybe a small compressor. I love the one that we've got from Milwaukee.
Yeah, yes, it's even smaller than mine. Like I've just got a handheld that I use, guys, not just for tires. I use it for my kid floats and stuff at the pool. All sorts. It is so great to have a small compressor, and that's just in my personal vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's great to have this. It's so important because something could have just happened and you lost a little air. Guess what? You can air it up and actually get to the tire shop real quick. It's going to save
unless
so
you've
much
got like
time.
a major blowout.
Well,
or something.
yeah, I mean,
okay? but that, you just need to carry a spare around.
That's right. Yes, a spare. Make sure that all of your vehicles out there do have a spare so that your guys can keep going.
Next is fuses and basic electrical tools, belt and hose patch kits. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to tape a belt together or anything, but if you've got a belt that breaks a lot, you may want to carry an extra.
Yeah.
Duct tape, zip ties, hose clamps, work gloves, flashlight, safety vest. You need big stuff like that. Now, maybe even a spill kit or an oil absorption pad.
Yep.
First aid kit is something you definitely want to have.
Yes.
And I like this one, the backup power bank to charge phones or tablets. Just so happened that big jumper battery that I carry
does that too.
You can plug in. It's got electrical outlets on it. It's got a light on it. It's also got adapters to plug in to charge your phones or tablets. Then you need water and non-perishable snacks. You don't know when you're going to run out on the side of a road. Maybe you're traveling and you run out of gas, or you have a blowout and your spare had a blowout, or you bust a belt that you don't have with you.
I got one other one that wasn't on this list. A change of clothes, guys.
You bet.
Okay, if you are doing service work, you don't know what mess you're going to get into. If it becomes too messy, you want to have a change of clothes so that you can go to that next job and keep your day progressing forward.
And I like that because when I was in service work, I always had a change of clothes with me. Always.
Yep.
I mean, that
yeah, all my construction time, I kept an extra pair of jeans and shirt because sometimes your jeans would tear and you'd have a blowout there. Or shirts, like I was a fitter, so sometimes they'd catch on fire. Like you don't know what's going to happen in a work.
Sometimes people would set his clothes on fire.
Sometimes they do that for sure.
But you want to make sure that you got one person that's really the vehicle captain, and it may be the journeyman, it may be an apprentice, it may be something. But you want to do a weekly checklist, restock any of these items that get used, and really you want to restock them the day they get used. That way you've got them the next day. But another thing too is there should be the same person that's inspecting the vehicle. What's the mileage? What do the windshield wipers look like? What do the tires look like? What's the brake look like? Does it need an oil change? Does it need an inspection?
Yeah.
What does it need?
When's the next service?
Yeah, because a lot of that stuff, guys, is stuff that we need to be doing all the time, but we normally don't do it. And then a big bonus on this, include an emergency contact card for roadside services or a simple accident protocol form inside of the glove box. Not just a form. You need to have a list on there. How many pictures do they need to take?
That's it.
If they don't have phones that have cameras, but I think most people do.
Most do.
You still may want just a disposable camera that you can throw in and say, there's 24 pictures in this camera. You take 24 pictures of your vehicle, the other vehicle, anything involved.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people do the disposables and it's fill it up. I want pictures of everything. And that is a good company policy to have. And guess what? Disposable cameras are really cheap too. That way it doesn't necessarily have to be the phone. The phone's great. That when they can email the pictures and all that stuff. But that disposable, because if something happened to the phone, let's say in that accident, have that backup there and ready to go.
Absolutely. And things like that make all the difference in the world. Number one, just being prepared does.
Yes.
Go ahead and put this in here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to roll into social media spotlight. And today we're talking about HVAC. We're talking about at HVACR videos on YouTube and Instagram. Now, on YouTube, around 250,000 subscribers. On Instagram, around 40,000 followers. Guys, that's not a bad deal. They're getting some good numbers there. Your host, Chris Stevens, is an HVAC business owner and a technician. Now, why is he worth watching? Well, because Squirt says so.
Man, guys, yeah. I mean, you just listen to me. You ought to watch.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, if you want to, you got it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. We're just going to start out. Let's start out with popular, okay? Let's go back to what really popped him off, we'll say. And I think this is really cool. It's a lot of stuff that he just actually runs into in the field on normal jobs, doing service calls and things like that. And that's huge, because if you are somebody out in the field doing service calls, people love to watch these videos. I mean, obviously he's got almost 200,000 subs over here on YouTube. The other company couldn't figure this one out either. That's one of my favorites. I love getting called out. Just like you said, I've had 4 plumbers out. They couldn't figure this out. And it's like, oh, well, did they check this? No. Oh, well, that's the problem. Look.
And my first thought is, well, you called the wrong plumber.
That's it. And this is just proof. You go in, and it's my favorite to go in, figure something out, problem solve something that somebody else couldn't do. And I'm sure most of you tradespeople love that also. But guys, there's lots of things to learn here. Electrical failures are fun. I don't know about that. I may have to just watch that sometime to try to figure out how that is. Carrier no cooling call. This is one of my favorites. The walk-in freezer with too much frost. Okay, I've seen that. I've worked a lot of industrial projects and things. So like a lot of these issues I see, iced up for 4 months. Guys, if it's been iced up for a little while, it's time to call in service.
Call
Don't leave it for 4 months before you have somebody look. Yeah, like there is an issue. There is a problem. But go through here and check it out, guys. It's him problem solving real issues in HVAC. So if you're an HVAC service tech, it's a great person to go and watch and kind of learn different ways to troubleshoot and figure things out and problem solve the situations.
And I like the way he deep dives on real jobs. He brings viewers into an actual service call, often on rooftop units or refrigeration units, walking through diagnostics, repairs, and decision-making in real time. Now, he really shares some good teachable moments. He breaks down electrical issues, refrigerant pressure problems, and system design mistakes with precision and very calm narration. And me, sometimes when I narrate, I get a little excited, like, whoa, wait a minute. But it's an authentic trade culture. There's no flashy edits, just raw, insightful field work that helps both green technicians and skilled technicians sharpen their skills. Now, some of his top videos, troubleshooting a shorted compressor, which I'm a certified HVAC technician too, so I think that's cool. Why your walk-in freezer won't cool? Well, if it's frozen up, that's going to have a lot to do with it. And making the call, repair versus replacement. Guys, that's one thing that I can say truthfully. I used to train my people, look, if it can be fixed, we give them that option. Now, you also talk to him about the price and the value and is it worth it and this and that. But he's doing more than just a content channel. It's a mentorship experience that can elevate the quality and pride in HVAC service work. To me, I don't think there's anything better than that. If you are bringing skills to the trade, pride to the trade, you're teaching tradesmen how to get better, how to do different things like that. It's greatness.
It is. And guys, if you are in the trades, go out there and put yourself on socials, get started.
So I'm going to jump back into the questions here real quick.
There's some good ones coming.
I know. Matt says vehicle cost is insane. I spend as much as a guy building a hot rod. Now,
yeah,
Matt, a friend of mine is Saxy Hot Rod Shop. If y'all hadn't checked that YouTube channel out, go check it out. But Saxy Hot Rod, and man, they're doing some good stuff. So
I think Leak Pro needs a hot rod delivery service.
A Leak Pro hot rod. There you go.
You know, it's to deliver kits.
We can get them there fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt McDonough says, so I'm working on printing plumbing fittings.
Ooh.
When I get them done, would you like to pressure test them? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Oh, I do have a new pressure test
in mine.
And mine, yeah, for some of the new tools.
Guys, we got to get out the shop. We hadn't blown anything up.
I know, it's been a while. Like, I got to blow something up. I got the blast chamber fixed finally.
And our buddy, Jim Hacking in the house. Great stuff, fellows. Thank you.
Morning, Jim.
Look, Jim, love what we get to do. You need to watch anything about an immigration attorney, go check out Jim Hacking's channel. Man, he helps people become legal.
Yeah,
I mean, great way to put it.
that's it.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, good question. You know, it come in the other day.
Okay.
When you first take that leap into, I'm not just a worker anymore, I'm opening my own business.
Okay.
What are some of your first steps and tips for somebody out there doing this?
You know, first thing is to understand you don't even know what you don't know. And I know people hate hearing that. It's like, well, I want to know. Okay. We've made courses on it. We've made videos about it. We've done everything, but you need to make sure you're doing everything right. You need to make sure you're putting money away for your taxes, for your plumbing company. Yep. You want to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you do it better than everybody else. Now, we picked specialty stuff, whole house water filtration, slab leaks. There's not people in my area focusing on this. Rise above the noise. Be better than your neighbor. Be better than everybody. Then the other companies are calling you saying, hey, man, we got a problem with the water filtration system. Do y'all want to talk to them? Absolutely. We're going to upgrade them to a better system than y'all installed or than they have, unless they've got a good one. If it's one that we can go through and really troubleshoot it and work with them, love to do that. But literally, get your name. You know, before I even open my doors, I already have my name. I have my insurance. I had my name registered with the Secretary of State. I had done everything because I knew I'm going to open my own company one day and I wanted that name registered. I didn't want anybody else to have it. And if I wanted to run side jobs, I was insured. I could pull permits. I could do anything in the world, but I was not competing with the companies I was working for.
Yep.
They were doing commercial. Then when the company that I was working at started doing residential, and when I heard the way they were going to do it, it's like, yeah, it's time for me to leave. Y'all are going to be jacking people over. I don't want to be part of it. Matt McDonough says, you guys need a fix. Buy those tools. Man, we need to buy all kinds of stuff.
Always.
Squirt, get a heavy lift drone and delivery.
All right.
See, don't talk him into stuff like that, David. Hey, there'll be 4 of them here tomorrow. He's like, well, Dad, we need them for something.
That's right. I got to deliver kits, baby. I got to deliver kits.
So walk. Okay. Guys, I want to say special thanks to Leak Pro. Leak Pro is the sponsor of the Trade Talks Live. And we're talking with other sponsors, so there's other opportunities coming soon. But Leak Pro is. And when I decided to open my company and we were going to specialize in slab leaks and leak detection, I started buying all different kinds of equipment. And a couple of years later, I found out about Leak Pro. And the cool thing about it is when I found it, I'm like, oh my God, I love this system. So Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And I knew that from the minute I first touched it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer. No bulky equipment to wear around your neck, strap onto your waist, anything at all like that. You've got everything you need right there in the palm of your hand, and a little cord that goes to your headphones. You got the only adjustment on the whole thing is a volume knob. The complete kit gives you everything you need to do to detect leaks underground, to find them, to stick that probe rod down in the ground where you can hear it, and walk through the house and use that sidekick, touching every valve, touching the floor, touching the concrete, touching the tile, and it's going to help put you right on those leaks. We've also got a training center here just outside of Dallas, Texas, where we teach you how to find 11 leaks that we have under slab. And they're not easy. They're small leaks. They're under a thick slab. When you walk out with the confidence to know, look, I got this. And that's what the training is all about. So we bring you in, we teach you how to locate the lines. That way you're listening right above the water lines. Then we teach you how to find the leak. How to repair them, man, that's up to you. Always give people options. But then we take you over to the slab that we built for sewer, where we have cast iron and PVC sewer systems like would be under a house, and we teach you how to isolate, how to find the leaks there. That way you're not just walking in and somebody say, yeah, you've got a leak under your slab. We need to replace everything you have. Chances are you really don't. So we teach you how to do that. And then if you're the owner, if you're the founder of the company, the master of the company, the marketing person of the company, whatever you are, we'll teach you about marketing. I'll spend time with you to teach you how to do what we do. So if you want to find out more about the complete kit, go to www.leak-pro.com. If you want to find out about the training, give Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. Jump back in here real quick. Matt McDonough says supercharged box trucks. There you go. No, you go. Matt says just like a stethoscope. Yeah. Absolutely. And the web address for Leak Pro, www.leak-pro.com. Guys, this is fun. We love doing what we get to do, and we get to do it because y'all come back each and every day. As we get more sponsors in here, it's going to grow and get to be something even better. But I just want to say thank y'all so much for being here. We love y'all. And whatever you do out there today, do it safe.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Happy Thursday out there. Tomorrow is Friday. So excited. Hope to see you back here tomorrow. Guys, get out there, hit it effing hard, and have a great rest of the day. Bye, y'all.
See y'all.